Hey, what up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. The Dodgers need to add another frontline starter, and we're going to get into that in just a second. But quick reminder for all latest Dodgers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comments section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Do the Dodgers need to add another frontline starter to be considered legitimate World Series contenders in 2022? And of the guys we mentioned today, who would you most want to see on the Dodgers? Let me know down below in the comments section. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. This is the second part in the Dodgers post-lockout agenda, and today we're talking about frontline starters, because I'm going to tell you right now, if the Dodgers don't add another frontline starter, they're not going to be legitimate World Series contenders in 2022, especially when you consider they wanted to re-sign Max Scherzer. He signed with the New York Mets. Clayton Kershaw, lots of uncertainty surrounding King Kersh. Will he re-sign? Will he sign with the Rangers? What does his health look like? And yes, there are some really nice players coming up. You got Andre Jackson we saw last season. Mitch White had some nice starts. You heard Ryan Pepio on the Blue Heaven podcast talk about how excited he is for Bobby Miller and how great of a pitcher he's going to be someday. But look, if this team truly is all in, if Andrew Friedman and this organization is going to take all of its chips and just push them to the middle, well, you're going to need to add an experienced starter to really fortify this rotation. I think the Dodgers are going to accomplish that in two ways. Either you trade for a starter or you potentially sign one. There's a couple guys still out there that could really help this rotation, but we're going to start with the trades. And my number one candidate is Luis Castillo. I've talked extensively about La Piedra, the rock of the Reds rotation, and how well I think he'd fit in for the Dodgers. And yes, he did struggle in the first half of last season. He posted a 7.22 ERA through his first 11 starts, but from June 1st on, in his last 22 games of the season, Castillo posted a 2.73 ERA. He got his strikeout rate up from 19.3% up to 26%, had that ground ball rate at 59.9%, and he has a filthy arsenal of pitches. We're talking about a heater that averages 97 plus miles per hour. He has one of the best changeups in the game, and I think he'd be an absolute star in Los Angeles. Now, when it comes to Castillo, the big question is he available? Are the Reds willing to part ways with him? Well, John Heyman tweeted before the lockout, Reds are still fielding interest in Luis Castillo, Tyler Mahle, and Sonny Gray. Chance for a trade today. Now, a week before John Heyman said that, Buster Only tweeted, the Reds are said to be open again to trading Sonny Gray, but they've indicated to rival execs that Tyler Mahle and Luis Castillo are off limits. So, look, a lot can change in the matter of weeks, and if the Dodgers come with a very aggressive offer, and maybe the Reds like Gavin Lux and they want to see him included in that deal and some of the other Dodgers prospects, well, hey, maybe they can get a deal done. And also, he's not a free agent until after the 2023 season, so the Dodgers would have him for at least another season. He's set to make over $7 million in 2022. And we've done deep dives on all these pitchers, so if you want to go back and check out those videos, I'll leave the links in the descriptions. But next we have Oakland A's right-handed pitcher Chris Bassitt. Now, Chris Bassitt is a very intriguing option. Last season, he posted a 3.15 ERA, a 3.34 FIP, had a 25K percentage, a 6.1 walk percentage, and 157 1/3 innings of work. He's got a really dynamic pitch mix. He throws that sinker 35.7% of the time, the four-seam 19.2%, the cutter 18.3%, the change 10.2%, the slider at 10.1%, and the curveball at a 6.5% clip. He was among the league leaders when it comes to hard hit percentage in the 88th percentile, walk percentage in the 81st percentile. So he's a very attractive option as well. Really had a very nice start to the season in 2021. Had a 2.29 ERA through his first 11 starts, and then he was hit by a line drive in the second half that forced him to miss a month, but he did make his first All-Star team. He is a veteran. He is under team control for just one more season, so not a big long-term commitment, and I do think he can can be had for a relatively nice price, considering all the rumblings that the Oakland A's want to shed payroll. Now, next we're going to go to Frankie Montas, his teammate. Frankie Montas last season, a career-high 32 starts, posted a 3.37 ERA, a 1.18 WHIP, had 207 punch-outs in 187 innings of work, and he finished 6th in the AL Cy Young voting. And he's another guy like Castillo that has filthy stuff, averaging 96.2 miles per hour on his two-seam, 96.4 miles per hour on his fastball, has that filthy split-finger fastball. Last year, he was in the 88th percentile in fastball velocity, the 91st percentile in chase rate, the 75th percentile in whip percentage, the 75th percentile in fastball spin. You know the Dodgers value that. And then let's go back to the Reds. Another guy I really like is right-handed pitcher Tyler Mahle. So he's just 27 years old, still young. He's still under team control for another 2 seasons. He's projected to make $5.6 million in 2022. And if you look at his numbers last season for the Reds, a 3.75 ERA, a 3.80 FIP, a 27.7 K percentage, an 8.4 walk percentage, 3.8 FWAR in 180 innings of work. Now, my favorite thing about Tyler Mahle, especially considering what happened at the end of last season where a lot of the starters were running out of gas at the finish line, is that he is very durable. In the last 2 seasons, he's made 42 of the possible 44 starts with a 3.72 ERA, a 3.82 FIP, a 1.217 WHIP, and a 10.7 K per 9. So he's a guy that I really like, but he has turned around. The previous 2 seasons before that, he had an ERA over 5, a FIP at almost 5 in 48 starts. But the light has really turned on. He's got that 4-seam fastball that he locates, throws it 53.1% of the time. Also use that slider and that splitter. And he's just really steady. He's durable. He's in the 82nd percentile in hard hit percentage, the 68th percentile in whiff percentage, 71st percentile in fastball spin. And I think he's another guy that can really slot him in, and he can help this Dodgers rotation. Now, another guy that we're going to talk about is Carlos Rodon. Dropped a video on him last week. Well, the thing with Rodon is he's a free agent, so you wouldn't have to give up Gavin Lux or give up any prospects. Now, the issue with Rodon is he did fade down the stretch next season. He threw only 43 innings after the All-Star break. He did have some shoulder fatigue, but you saw last year he flirted with that perfect game. He did throw a no-hitter, and if you look at his numbers, they will get you excited. A 2.37 ERA, a 2.65 FIP, a 34.6 K percentage, and a 6.7 walk percentage in 132 and 2/3 innings of work. Finished with 4.9 FWAR, but like I said, with him, it was the fact that he did fade down the stretch. Now, before the postseason began, they did give him some additional rest, and he was able to get that fastball velo up, and I think he could benefit from the depth in this Dodgers organization. I think he would also benefit from the training staff, from the pitching coaching, so he's another guy to keep your eye on. I would definitely be down with Rodon. I'd be riding with Rodon for sure if they were able to get that deal done. Now, another guy we've talked about, which seems like for years now, is Sonny Gray. Can Sonny Gray get to sunny California? Well, his 2021 season started 26 games, posted a 4.19 ERA, a 1.219 WHIP, had a 2.4 FWAR, but his season was derailed by a slew of injuries. But he still struck out 155 batters in 135 and a third innings of work, is owed $10.667 million in 2022, has a $12 million team option for the 2023 season. He's a veteran. The Dodgers would only be committed to him for the 2022 season. If they like what they see, they could pick up that team option, and I think you would get a very motivated Sonny Gray that would want to pitch well to get another deal. Now, I'm not as high on Sonny Gray as a lot of other people. I'm a little concerned by the injuries. I do think he is on the decline, but with that said, I would be okay with adding Sonny Gray to this Dodgers rotation, especially if they struck out on some of the other names on this list. And then finally, we have Oakland A's Sean Manaea. So, like I said, the A's are looking to shed payroll, and I think Andrew Friedman can get Brad Pitt to trade some of these A's to the Dodgers. And I think Sean Manaea is a guy that you really like. Remember in 2018, had that dominant no-hitter against the Boston Red Sox, and then there were talks, hey, is he ever going to be that guy? Well, in 2021, he had his best season. He posted a 3.91 ERA, a 3.36 FIP, had a 25.7 K percentage, a 5.4 walk percentage, had 3.3 century F4 in 32 starts. So another thing to consider too, along with Carlos Rodon, is if Clayton Kershaw decides to retire or he does sign elsewhere, you add another lefty to this rotation. But look, the bottom line is the Dodgers need to add another frontline starter if they want to be legitimate World Series contenders in 2022. But I want to know from you guys, do you think the Dodgers need to add another frontline starter to be considered legitimate World Series title contenders? And of all the names on this list, who would you most want to see the Dodgers get? Let me know down below. My name is D-Mac. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all latest Dodgers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.